Seamo's predictions are so bad. I'm not trying to. I might actually watch that on stream. I mean, I know Simo made a banless prediction, but I didn't know that. F's in the chat. Yeah, that was, to me, that was one of the best moments in Yu-Gi-Oh! Brains. It's very, it's very seldom that I watch a Yu-Gi-Oh! Show and I actually get I get hyped watching a monster get summoned. Maybe it happens like once or twice per series. Usually, like, it's because of the aesthetics. It's because of like how things looked. This summon in particular was just really, really dope. So Simo says Borreload Savage Dragon should be banned. Interesting. I mean, I guess our level H just too OP, chat? Or negation too OP? That was under. What are you talking about? That's just, no, it was not. You just didn't watch it in the. How could that be underwhelming? What are you talking about? It's one of the best summons in the show. Borreload Savage Dragon. Let's see. Banless predictions. I mean, we all know about Halafibrax
Limited. Did that do anything? Back up and running again. That's probably not going to happen for several more months, but at least we can still talk about what cards are problematic and what changes.
Okay. Just based on what he said, he's at least acknowledged, from what I gather, I didn't watch obviously all of it. Simo's at least acknowledging that there's a good chance we probably won't get like a ban list, because he's kind of talking about how there are no events.
We should probably particularly incentivized to make any big changes to the.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. There's Konami's not incentivized to make a big ban list because there haven't been any events, and they're probably we're in what, month 8, chat, and this month is halfway over or close. Like, excuse me, there probably isn't any real incentive for, especially if they're not going to have any YCSs for the rest of the year. Like, what's the point of making a big ban list?
Until we start getting premier tournaments back up and running again. That's probably not going to happen for several more months, but
because he's a fucking beast, that's why.
To their deck, right. But it just makes the strategy
Dragon, that's fair.
Go +3 for no reason.
Blood Dragon is a dragon ruler. People need to acknowledge that. I mean, granted, it's not an actual dragon, but Blood Dragon is basically a fucking dragon ruler.
For people who don't already know, that's because the OCG has realized that this is a very unhealthy card. And Christian Halki.
Okay, chat, what do you guys? I don't have a problem with his list so far. Dragon Master Knight Duel was dope. Summoning Obelisk from Beyond the Grave was better. Actually, my favorite summon that I've ever seen in any Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel was Galaxy Eyes Tachyon. No, it was Galaxy Eyes. No, it's not Tech. What's the no, Cypher? Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon from Art V. It's in Kaito's first duel. Yeah, Cypher Dragon, the rank 8. That shit looks so cool.
Fibrax is probably more unhealthy, but again, Link Cross and Christian Halki Fibrax, it's kind of like going back to the Summon Sorceress days when that and Halki Fibrax couldn't exist in the OCG at the same time.
We need less Link monsters that summon from the fucking deck. We've talked about that on stream. Everyone, this is also my prediction, chat. This is like my low-key prediction. Everyone's gonna do it again. Everyone's going to 10-minute summon for 1 negate. Trip would have had 50. Everyone's gonna forget about ISO being broken, which, guys, can just write this down. I'm gonna keep calling ISO broken until the next time it becomes broken again. Everyone's gonna forget ISO's broken, and then in like 6 months there's gonna be another warrior deck that comes out. It's gonna break the fuck out of ISO, and everybody's like, ISO should be banned. And I'm like, bruh, ISO's been broken since like 2016.
Moving forward. Like, now, for my next pick, I actually have a very interesting choice, and I don't.
Oh my god. He actually wants Borreload Savage Dragon banned.
Think anyone is going to make this call, but I'm going to throw in Borreload Savage.
It's the new level eater, true.
Dragon to get banned. Now, hear me out for a moment. Borreload Savage.
How toxic are we, chat? Okay, hold on. First off. We haven't, one word answer, chat. Can Simo justify Borreload Savage Dragon being banned? Yes or no? My answer is no. Can he, and when I mean justify it, can he make you believe it? Anyone can make any fucking argument, but can he at least get to the point where you're like, he makes really good points. This card might just, we should understand it. Like, I'm personally, I can't see it. This feels like, you guys remember in 2015 when all the YouTubers were saying fucking Neteria Beast should be banned? You guys remember that? You guys remember when Sammy, like a year ago, was like Abyss Dweller should, that wasn't even a year ago. You guys remember when Sammy was like Abyss Dweller should be banned? This feels like that. Like, no, we don't fucking need to ban Abyss Dweller or Neteria Beast or fucking Borreload Savage. Like, no. Like, don't get me wrong, it's one of the best level 8s in, or level 8 synchros in. It's not ban word. Like, what? No.
Dragon is kind of like the ultimate end board for a lot of these Christian Halki 5-Rax Link Cross combos. So, since that's the case, if you remove Borreload Savage Dragon from the equation, it kind of just removes an Omni Negate from some of these end boards and makes the end boards a little bit weaker. Now, obviously,
I think I get what Simo is saying. He's saying that Borreload Savage is always part of these combos, but it feels like what you did was take out the ability to make the combos, right, chat? Like, are you guys following me? Simo's saying that like these end boards with 50 billion negates are like super unhealthy and super unfun to play with. But I thought the whole point of banning these fucktards was to make those boards not even exist. Like, if you just end on Borreload Savage Pass, like, I don't think anyone complains about that. I don't think anyone says that's unhealthy, but like, I thought the entire point of hitting these cards was to stop that from existing in the first place. Like, I don't think anyone wants to call. He already talked about, I know, but he said, what he just said was, he just said that these decks make a bunch of like, Borreload is just one of these Omni Negates. But like, if you're just like, chat, would any of you got like, if your opponent goes Savage Dragon, like, who's complaining about that? Like, I don't get, what's it called? You can ban Auroradon. I mean, I'd say ban all three, to be honest. But I don't. If you're stopping like the 5 negates from happening, I'm not like, no one's mad about Borreload Savage Pass. Like, okay, you get 1 negate. That would be like complaining about Dragon Maids making Dragon Maid Show. Like, you really can't stop one. Like, am I supposed to do nothing? Like, I think if you want to make a boss monster that has a negate, that's fine. Just don't make like 4 of them. You know what I mean? Like 1 or 2 is okay, but like not like, 4 or 5
from some of these end boards, and makes the end boards a little bit weaker. Now, obviously, there's replacements. I mean, they could just easily go into stuff like Omega or other just powerful Synchro 8s, but I think Borreload Savage Dragon is arguably like the strongest pick here, and by removing it, it forces players to kind of pick a different option that may not be as degenerate. I don't know. I think it's an interesting card to think about. Now, the thing that's kind of going against this heavily is the fact that it is getting reprinted in the Megatins, and while the Megatins are already going to sell themselves because Dragoon is in there, the thing is Borreload Savage Dragon's also getting reprinted, so people might just want to get the tins for that card in and of itself. So that could be another selling point and a reason why Konami wouldn't want to hit this card. But considering the fact that Borreload Savage Dragon is like the 3rd highest card in terms of like win percentage for if it hits the field, I think there's a pretty justified...
Wait, what? First off, I have never seen this stat. Chat. Altergeist Hextia best card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yo, press 1 if Hextia's ban-worthy, chat. Holy shit. Altergeist Hextia actually best card in Yu-Gi-Oh! 71% of the time you just win the game. Holy shit. It's actually ban-worthy, boys. I told you guys it's my favorite Link monster. You summon it, you just win. Just GG. 7 out of 10 duels, you summon it, you just game over.
If it hits the field, I think there's a pretty justifiable argument for banning the card. Some people would disagree, but I don't think the card is particularly healthy for those reasons. And so, yeah, why not? We'll throw...
I'm not non-toxic, chat. Non-toxic. This was a fucking terrible argument. See, like Simo's saying that it's unhealthy. He's not. Okay. Simo is saying that Borreload Savage Dragon is unhealthy just because it negates. Does that inherently, chat? Does that inherently make a card unhealthy? Just that it negates? Like, I think when you look at negation, you have to say, is your negation free? How hard is said monster to summon? Is it locked into an archetype? Does it require other setup? Like, Borreload Savage Dragon, technically, you cannot not acknowledge this. It has to have a link monster. Like, in the process of summoning, like, you have to have had a link monster at some point. Otherwise, you're summoning a fucking 3000 vanilla. Like, I'm sorry. This is a dumb argument, chat. Like, this argument is just bad. He's just saying that it's a powerful negation generic level 8. And actually, I know it's not quite on the level, but like I feel like he's kind of made an argument for the Adamantipator Dragite. Like, did he just make an argument for that to be banned? Because I feel like he just kind of did. Both monsters are generic. Granted, Borreload Savage can negate monster effects. I think does Dragite destroy as well? Because Savage doesn't destroy the card, it just negates it. But Savage does require a Link monster at some point to have hit your graveyard. Like, I feel like he just made the argument for Dragite to be banned, or at least that it could be ban worthy. I'm not saying that he definitively said that both should be. I just feel like he just made that argument because it's just a generic level 8 like negator. I think Simo's just saying that those are kind of unhealthy for the game. Like, I don't agree with that, to be honest. Like, I think that Borreload Savage, people only look at it as like broken because it's not the only negate. You get Herald of the Arclight and all this other stupid bullshit. Fibrax / Link Cross help make Savage Dragon among other combo ends bans. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're already banning, if we all acknowledge that Fibrax, Auroradon, and Link Cross all help you make these big boards, but he's already banning those cards, then like what, like Herald of the Arclight should be banned then. Like, what the fuck? Like, is Herald of the Arclight the next card on his video? Because I feel like he's looking at the end result, but the end result's not like important. Again, I don't think people are gonna go Savage Dragon. I mean, they probably will play this card post those Link monsters being broken because Savage Dragon is still one of the best synchro monsters in the game. But call him out.
Savage Dragon on.
No, that's dumb. I'm just responding. I just think this is a terrible take. And he hasn't, what's it called? He didn't say ban Savage Dragon. He's saying they aren't going to ban, what's it called? He's saying, hold on. So getting rid of Savage Dragon takes away one of the negates. Yeah, but that's dumb too. Because how do you just generically apply? Then, okay, well then ban Herald of the Arclight. Then just ban any of the negation monsters they make through the process. Like, for him to make that argument, Appaloosa better be the fucking next card. Because, chat, how long we been making Appaloosa for negations? To, like, stop hand. How long we been making Appaloosa? And Appaloosa's 4 fucking negations. Granted, it gets progressively weaker. That people say ban. All I'm saying is, if he's saying that they're not going to ban those cards, so then ban the synchros that lead to the negate, like, the Appaloosa better be the next card on this video.
There too. If anything, if they don't hit Halki Fibrax or Link Cross, hitting Savage Dragon like maybe might be the next best thing. Now to wrap up my ban cards, I got 2 cards in particular that I really hope Konami bans, but there's like a 99% chance they won't. And
I'm thinking here because it looks like he's gone towards under the radar cards. Appaloosa is worse. I'm just going on the basis of these end result cards that are incredibly easy to make. If we're going to leave Halki Fibrax and Link Cross in the game. Simo kind of generically went after Savage Dragon, but like, how's that different from Herald of the Arclight or Appaloosa? We've been making those cards a lot too. If he's looking for under the radar bans, I don't know. I mean, is Mecha fan? The problem isn't the negates. It's what gets. Yeah, that's what I agree. That's my point. To me, the problem are not the negates. The problem are the cards that like get you to the fucking negates. Like the fact that those cards, chat, can just be thrown in everything. It's like when we just watched that Luna Light replay 5 seconds ago. The second that he summoned Halki Fibrax, I'm like, dude, I'm mentally done. I don't want to watch this shit. You know what I mean? Like, we all know what you're gonna fucking do. Like, the problem is you guys, that the video we just watched, right? The replay is the problem with that video, chat. Is the problem King Kali Yuga that he's gonna make during your turn, or is the problem that Halki Fibrax lets him make King Kali Yuga? Like, that's the basis right there. The problem is not King Kali Yuga. The problem is like all the fucking Link Crosses and Halki Fibrax that let any deck make that play. Like, you know what I mean? Like Needlefire. Yeah, the problem is like those cards. I'm trying to think of what, because Simo seems like he's alluding to under. I'm just gonna throw this. I think he might be talking about Mecha Phantom Beasto Lion, because whatever cards he's talking about 2 cards that could be banned. but he's clearly not going. He's going for like under the radar cards because he's saying like there's a 90-something% chance they won't. I'm gonna say one of them is Beast Online. Let's see what he says.
And these cards just really are.
If he says I sold, then I'm gonna fucking favorite this video.
So degenerate because they don't allow the opponent to even play the game. The first of which is True King of all Calamities. I mean, this card's been around.
Okay, I didn't expect that. He must be talking about Mystic Mind.
Forever. We've seen it time and time again, and while it may not see the most play at this particular moment, that doesn't mean it's still not a card that shouldn't be addressed, especially because of future card design and how easily it could be exploited, because if any deck is going to be rank 9 spam the deck, then this card is going to be an auto include. The second card is Utopic Zexal. Now, the reason why they won't hit this is because it's too new.
True. I honestly, I guess I must just be disconnected. I totally forgot about Numeron Network. Holy shit. That's like banning Fogblade and Sheikh Brigadine instead of Bardiche. Yeah. I mean, chat, why don't we just, like, you guys know how getting like double Fogblade used to be broken with Orcus and shit? Why? Just fucking ban Fogblade. Then Bardiche is balanced, right? Just ban Fogblade.
Tales of Armageddon only came out about a month ago now, and people still want to have the opportunity to play with it. And if we're going to go based off the logic of if players haven't had the chance to play with their cards because of everything with coronavirus, then they're not going to touch the card. I don't think it's like the biggest issue right now because players are at least side decking appropriately, even main decking in some instances to kind of counteract it. But just because a card can be sided against or played against doesn't mean that a card should exist.
Yeah, counters don't make a card inherently balanced. Chat, what do you guys feel about True King of all Calamities? Am I just the only one who just like I don't know, maybe I'm just dumb. I just don't get all the hate. Like, Zexal and Calamities should have been banned years ago. I don't understand. Calamities is a this. I promise this is not going to become a Gumblar discussion, but let me just ask the question: should boss monsters have some value, Chad? Like, I feel like how do you easily make True King of all Calamities? I mean, you have to make, when I see people make True King of all Calamities, they use like fucking Trishula and like Lithic. Like, you gotta use a lot of shit to make that card. It's not like this fucker where it's just a Numeron Network, bam, one card. Like, you gotta do a lot of shit to get Trish out, and then have another level 9, and then get True King of all Calamities. Like, level 9s are, do I need to just say level 9s historically are shit in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, chat? They're terrible. It's a terrible level. It really is. Name 10 level 9 monsters that are good. By the way, no generator. Like, you can't. Level 9s are trash. So I'm just, maybe it's just the fact that it's level 9 and like, or excuse me, rank 9 and not rank 8, which is, the level 8 has historically been so much better than 9. I really just don't see the hate for True King of all. Like, I get what it does. But that's also, you're looking at like the high. You're not looking at like what it takes to actually make the card. Like, I get it can feel like you can't play because you can't use monster effects, but I don't know. I feel like the whole Yu-Gi-Oh community has just started hating True King of all Calamities in like the last 6 months, and
Utopic Zexal just denies the opponent to play the game, and
this fucker I do get, because this fucker turns off everything. Forget about just monster. This fucker turns off spells, traps, like this I understand because it turns off, and we can make it for one card. Like this I get. But I mean, if we get a 1 card True King of all Calamities, like I kind of get it. Galaxy Queen's Light, target 1 face up, level 7 or higher monster. I mean, this kind of feel. Is this a real thing? Like, what is this? what are people playing this? Like, is this a real thing? Shitty. I mean, yeah. This feels like. Is this a shitty replay? Like, what is this? Like, searchable by God. True. Broken. True that. Target 1 level 7 or higher monster you control. The levels of all face-up cards you control become the current level of that monster. I mean, are the meta players playing this? Like, is that what we're doing? We're playing. This feels like a shitty replay. If it's a shitty replay to generate, why? The monsters are already level 9, and you can't overlay with tokens. Like, that would be redundant. The monsters are already level 9s, unless you're planning on using Lopter to exceed. Then I guess it would kind of make sense. Like, I just don't get the hate with True King of all. I just don't.
What fun is that? And especially with how easily you can get it onto the board, I just don't think the card should exist. But that brings us to the limited cards. Now, I've actually only got a single limited card on this list.
This I agree with. I actually, when I just thought about this, chat, I was like, because of how power creep has been in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or I don't even know if it's just power creep or it's just the broken link monsters that have just trashed the game. I honestly feel like Konami doesn't need to limit shit. Like right now, I've never been a 3-0 person, chat, but right now, I kind of feel like that is, right now, the only things that really matter is just 3-0. Like, to be completely honest. Maybe when it comes to like unlimiting cards, I mean, personally, I'd put fucking Zemmighty back at like 3, but I know that that's not practical. They probably want to put it at like 1 first, i.e. like Zodiac Dryden. But right now, the most important thing is just like what gets banned. Like going to 1, limit Sanguine. That's not ringing a bell. What card are you talking about, Super Canadian? Like, there's nothing that like comes to mind. There's no like there's no Gazelle or something like that in the format that I can think. Oh, wait. You must be talking about one of those damn Eldorado cards. Yeah, okay, that's what it must be it must be one of the Eldorado. That's probably what Simo's talking about, because Simo's not gonna say it, but Simo, we all know, chat, Simo made the Pro Play Games ban list. Like, we know he made the list. I guarantee you it's that card.
And that's because I don't really...
It's that trap. I know it when I see it. It's got like a dude on it, and he's got like a red cape or something. It's got like red splatter or something, like a shining reddish orange light. Whatever that card is, that's the card he says. It's the Eldorado trap.
I really think there's much else that really needs to be touched in the limited section at the moment. I think there's some cards that could like come off the ban list, but I think that's for a different discussion. And so the one card I want to discuss is Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine. Now,
see, there you go. What did I just say? I said there's like red splatter and there's like a red dress. Yeah, this is the card. Yeah, Simo made the Pro Play Games ban list and they limited this card. That's how I knew it was on there. Simo won't just say that he made the Pro Play Games ban list, but he did make it, so, you know.
It's a card I've talked about before. Like Eldritch is one of the most played decks at the moment. There's so many different variants, and while Eldritch is incredibly powerful...
My bad. Meant play Gene Raider engine. Make everything level 9. Go for that spicy VFD. Hard Art H Dragon and maybe an anti-spell Fragance combo. 5-head lol.
Thank you very much, Rala guys. I mean, yeah, you can put the problem to me with ever splashing like generators into a deck is, and this goes for the regular generator deck. Like, if you've ever played generators, you guys know what the problem is. The problem is when you fucking draw them bitches. Like, they're terrible in your hand. That's why, in fact, that's why they have a card in the deck that puts the monsters back in the deck, because they're that bad to draw. Yeah, if you draw generator boss stage, it's like, okay, this is great. But if you ever draw the generator monsters themselves, they're like, what are you gonna do? They're just these big level 9s that are stuck in your hand that require 2 tributes and are super dead. But I mean, I can kind of understand the point, but I figured Simo was going with this card because he limited this on the Pro Play Games list.
I don't necessarily think that hitting the deck directly
Emancipator are irrelevant.
A week or 2 tops at most. Yeah. And the thing is, the OCG has already limited this card because they know how powerful and how format warping it truly is. Look,
hold on.
Together. Now, just like the ban cards, there are some cards that I would hope Konami would limit to kind of future-proof the format a little bit, although that's not going to happen because Konami wants to get their money first. Now, one of those cards is obviously Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. This card will be released in the Mega Tins, and then we should be getting the ban list not too long after that. I would say maybe like a week or 2 tops at most. And the thing is, the OCG has already limited this card because they know how powerful and how format warping it truly is. But Konami's going to want the TCG to experience Dragoon at full power. And the thing is, again, since there's no events, there's no incentive for them to hit a card like this until they actually have to. You could also make the argument to hit some of the other pieces around Dragoon, like cards such as Predaplant, Verte, Anaconda, which is what gets you to your Dragoon in the first place, or even Red Eye's Fusion. In the OCG, they were like maxing out on Red Eye's Fusion to ensure they had copies of it in their deck, and even if you hard draw it, it's not bad. It's still a way for you to get to Dragoon, albeit it is much, much worse if you do happen to go that route. But just hitting like some piece of this combo, I I feel like would just be good for the long term, but obviously I don't think that's ever going to happen. We are good.
So the thing about the Red Eyes engine is, and then in OCG they hit all 3 cards. They limited 3 cards to that by the way tells you, chat, that you fucked. How much more proof, chat, do you need to just prove that you fucked up on card design so hard when you have to hit every single card in an engine? Basically, the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon engine's what, I guess technically 5 cards, and they had to limit 3 of them. Dragoon, Red Eyes Fusion, Anaconda, Red Eyes Dark Magician. 5 cards. That makes up the entirety of the engine. 3 of them bitches had to be limited to 1. 60% of the fucking engine had to be limited because you made 1 card. Like, so ridiculously broken. But when it comes to that, obviously hitting Dark Magician and Red Eyes is asinine, so like that's not even worth talking about. I don't feel like hitting any 1 card does anything. I don't know about you guys, but like if they hit, I mean, I guess you could say hit Dragoon, because that makes it so that you can only summon him once. I guess that would be the most logical. Verde Anaconda, like, show me the person that has ever summoned that card more than once in a duel. I think maybe I have 1 or 2 shitty replays where that happened. And a lot of people say if you hit Red Eyes Fusion, that really just hurts the Red Eyes decks, and technically they don't have to draw it. They just use it from Verde Anaconda anyways. So I guess this does make the most sense, hitting this card so that you only have to deal with it 1 time in a duel. But a lot of times this card fucking wins the game, so like 1 time is enough. I bet Cap doesn't know it. What are you talking to, Smoke Grenade Thief? I know what the card is. Have you forgotten, chat, that I post, like, I've been posting shitty replays for forever? I was the first Yugi-tuber to show off that combo. The combo that like all Yugi-tubers started showing like a month. I showed that combo in like April or some shit like that. Yeah, it takes a card out of your opponent's hand when it's destroyed by a card effect. And then during the end phase, you equip it back with the level 12 Noble Knight, and he blows it up, and then you get to take another card. I showed that shitty replay in like April. I'm not saying I invented it. I showed the play in like April. Should it be bans? I mean, Konami has a history of not liking cards traditionally that let you look at your opponent's hand, and it is not a hard once return, obviously, because it's an old card. I don't know. I don't know about ban, but I don't know if limiting it. I mean, to be completely honest, you want to know something funny? If you just banned I Sold, that would not be a problem, because the way they get it into the graveyard is with I Sold, by the way. If you hard draw it, it's really nuts because you could use it twice. OCG is different than TCG. Who the fuck is making 2 or even 3 Dragoon in the TCG, especially with Light Stage at 1? I really wish Light Stage would go to 3. Should Konami at the end of each era take cards off the Forbidden and Limited list, and then move them to 1, ban as needed, like Jin, Kaiser Coliseum can come back and do nothing right now? I think that they should just look. I think that they should just treat the ban list as, they should just look at the ban cards as kind of like a fluidly moving situation. Konami and the TCG they've been getting better at it, Lion Kingdom. I don't think, if to answer your question directly, I don't even think they should wait until the end of each era. Because you're talking about, well, like, okay, at the end of Zexal, maybe a deck like Insectors don't need to still have fucking Dragonfly at 1. You know what I mean? I get that. I just feel like it should be more fluid than that. Look at, oh my goodness, there's so many. I feel like Konami doesn't do a very good job, or at least they didn't for years, when it comes to taking cards off the ban list. I mean, look how long it took us to get fucking Thousand Eyes Restrict back, chat. There wasn't even that period where we like tried to play the card just to find out that it was shit. We just immediately realized it was shit. Rockets were playing it now. Wait, how are they triggering it? Dragon Link is playing Smoke Grenade. It's not exclusive. Oh, are they using the Abomination? Are they using the Link, the Unchained Link 4? People can just make Muddy Mud. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I totally forgot about Muddy Mud Dragon. I forgot about that piece of shit too. Yeah, he lets you go in the Dragoon as well. I totally forgot about that. This is why they just should have never made this card, chat. Like I think I said that very early that this is just a card that like should have never been made. It's very easy it's very easy to identify like just bad card design. There's no reason this card should have had this much protect. No targeting, no destruction, pops monsters for free. Doesn't this do burn damage as well, chat? Doesn't this fucker do burn damage? And he has built-in negation. Like what? Why did the monster need 4 fucking good effects? Seriously. No targeting. No destruction from card effects. So he's like a Magic Spectre. I don't think, are you sure? I swear it does. Maybe it doesn't do burn. I swear it does burn damage. Let's see. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. Can't target it. That's 2. Destroy a monster your opponent controls and inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. I told you it burns. Free removal. And then also negation. And you can even technically consider the burn like a 5th of it. Yeah, it does burn damage too. Like, why the fuck did this card need the real thing is like, why did it just need the free pop, chat? Like every turn, like why did it need that? Like it would have been, this card would have been nuts just with the negation and the Magic Spectre. Like why did it need also to blow shit up and do burn damage? Like we're not just gonna give you a free pop every turn. You need burn damage too just to win it. Like what? The fuck were they thinking when they made this card? Seriously.
Gonna completely.
Why did it need protect? Yeah, why did it need protection if it had negation? Like, come on, like that. This just tells me that they were just like, yo, we just need a fucking Dark Magician card to shut the DM fans.
Ignore the semi-limited list because I have spoken time and time again about how I feel the semi-limited list basically shouldn't exist. There's like 3 cards on it right now, and they could move those in different slots and abolish it entirely.
I largely agree. The only time the semi-limited list is like real, other than consistency, is like I get malicious and like Tengu. those are like cards where running 3 and running 2 is just a world of difference. The difference between having 2 Tengus and 2 malicious is just like, it's just insane because it's just a whole nother not enabler, extender. Like it's just having a whole nother, yeah, what's it called? Dragoons feels like a custom. If Dragoons feels like it was designed as a custom card. It feels like it was designed not by an R&D creator. It feels like it was designed by their kid, by like their 8-year-old Dark Magician, fucking 8-year-old fan kid or their
go
kid.
Straight to the unlimits. So for the unlimits, I say just move Tour Guide and Widow Anchor to 3 because I
thought Tour Guide was at 3. What? What is Tour Guide at, chat? Is Tour Guide at 2? I thought it was at 3. Dude, I must be so fucking disconnected. What? Errata, nah, no more erratas. No, less erratas. Limit. Wait, what? What am I doing? Why can't I find... What? Why won't it let me go to Tour Guide? Okay, Tour Guide from the Underworld. Hold on. Okay. Oh, wait, I'm trolling. Okay, ban list. My bad, I'm trolling. Hold on. TCG. Really? Tour Guide's at 2? Like, why? Why is Tour Guide at 2? Same with Widow Anchor. No, I just like, at least with Widow Anchor, you can look at Sky Strikers and be like, they were like super broken for forever. But like, what? I guess Konami, I guess it was at 1 and then Konami just put it back. This is a Yu-Gi-Oh story, by the way, chat, too. The rise and fall of Tour Guide from the Underworld. Hell, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh story.
Putting them at 2 hasn't really done much for either of those decks.
3.
Sky Striker is actually pretty playable at the moment, so giving them an extra Widow Anchor is a nice touch for them. And since we're going to be getting Phantom Rage not long from now, giving 3 Tour Guide to a deck like PK Fire might be a good incentive for people to want to play the deck. And if they do that, they can just put Malicious
Dragon
to 1, and then we
with
never have to worry about the semi-limited list ever again.
Pot.
And then the last card I wanted to discuss is ABC Dragon Buster. I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record with this, but we don't have any in-person competitive events which have any merit, and all we have is the online environment. And since on the last ban list they just gave us 3 cards from limited to unlimited, make ABC Dragon Buster one of them. If it's broken, you can just move it back on the last ban list because it doesn't matter anyway. And if it's not, then people can play ABC if they actually want to, because it's...
This is still one of the most puzzling things. Can someone show me this, like, this fucking hypothetical ABC deck that was so broken that it got like limited in the TCG and in the OCG, and then we fucking followed that dumb limit. Like, someone just show me that ABC deck that was like gonna break the game. I just want to just play 3 Buster. Just show me that deck, bro. Because I feel like it doesn't exist. Konami, like, Konami thought that they were being like actual 5-hit, and they were like, yo, we're gonna protect the players from this fucking ABC deck that's broken as hell. And I just like never, like, what? Where is it? Seriously. Big Pimpin says, Dragons search grenade off Byline Cube off Halifabrax and destroy it with Rocket Racer. Oh, Tracer. I mean, that does sound cool, but I feel like that all goes back. Could they? You guys know where I'm at. Like, any combo, this we can tie anything to Gumlar Dragon if we try, chat. Any combo that revolves around Halifabrax, Isold, or Link Cross just shouldn't, like, it's almost like it doesn't even exist to me. Like, you guys say it, I'm like, la, doesn't exist. Like, if it uses one of those 3 cards, like, it just doesn't exist in my brain. Now, if they can break that card without Halifabrax, then, you know what I mean? Like, that to me, that's not enough reason to ban Smoke Grenade of Thief. I think if you want to make more of the argument of cards really shouldn't exist that let you look at your opponent's hand, I think that's a stronger argument. Simply because Konami has such a long history of banning those cards. Trap Dust Shoot, Confiscation, Forceful Sentry. Even Mind Crush has been like limited at many points in Yu-Gi-Oh! Not a hard once per turn also. That's like a strong case for that argument. And I think there's no practical way of using a card without it kind of being broken, because those effects themselves are just kind of inherently broken.
It's a strategy that a lot of people really enjoy.
ABC
I believe the outcome with the highest likelihood of occurring is Konami's just going to take a look at the limited list, maybe even the...
I just really want to see this fucking deck that was supposed to be like broken or something like that. You know what I mean? What about Wise Tricks and Cherubini? To be completely honest, low key, I actually don't think there's, I know in terms of like competitive play, there's like a world of difference in actual results, but I've always thought this, chat. I may not have always said it. I think Wise Tricks is like a ban-worthy card too. Like, just to be completely honest, it feels, in design, it feels almost identical as Halifabrax. It's just like another, I mean, I guess the Raid Raptor players will be like upset, but what's the summoning conditions of Last Tricks? Is it 2 Dart monsters, or is it Wing Beast monsters? Wise Tricks. Oh, it has to be Dark and Wing Beast. I guess that's a little more restrictive, but I just don't care. I honestly just don't care. Like, when I look at this card, I don't look at what people put into it. I just look at what fucking comes out. And what comes out is always either Kali Yuga or fucking it's either like fucking Kali Yuga or fucking Cyber Dragon Infinity or some other stupid shit. Like, I don't know. I have a lot of disdain for this card as well. I think I'm just at my wit's end with these Link monsters that just summon other monsters from the deck, and I kind of look at this card as just like one of those enablers. It's too bricky. I found the ABC deck that broke Buster. I know Lithium had a video where he played one.
How's it going, YouTube? My name is ZypherFox. So today...
Oh, wait, is this on my channel? I thought for a second, I was like, yo, ZypherFox got 11,000 views. Like, he's popping off. It's on my channel.
Okay, so at the DNA Houston Regional, I think...
This was it, chat. This is the deck that made... Oh, my God. This is fucking OG right here.
No way. But the point is, like, we make... I make you tell me lightning here just because I had to beat over this card. This card's like... if you don't know, it's unoffensive by everything else, which is kind of stupid, but I don't know. I only make ABC and I just end up banishing it, so...
By the way, thanks for being toxic, Yuki. 150 dislikes.
You know, looking at what it could be,
chat.
It looks
Seems
like we kind of have game, but we have the match where we need to be.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Simo's I don't think his ban list, his FNL ban list was all that like egregious. I think this was just dumb. He can't like. I'm just gonna roll my eyes at that, but. I guess every Yu-Gi tuber, if we all make our own ban list, chances are each one of us will have something that dumb. You know what, chat? There's probably a lot of people that would say that. I don't know. Chat, if I say Isold should be banned, would I get a lot of pushback from the Yu-Gi-Oh community?